Awesome date, March 9th, 2009. Awesome topic.
It's totally full metal.
And nothing to do with alchemy.
But this is the OSMcast. Hey folks, and welcome back to the OSMcast. I'm Basil.
I'm Lee.
I'm Kevin.
And that's us. Tonight's going to be a little bit disjointed.
Jointed?
That'd be the word.
Fucked up.
Fucked up.
Because we were planning on doing Retro Game Challenge. However, our special guest for that particular episode had to work tonight, so he couldn't actually show up. So we sort of pitched one in. And our original plan was we're going to do a video game. So we have all video game news. But now we're doing an anime. And we have no anime news.
New Mazinger Z, new Gundam. Well, that's anime.
Well, yes, we know a little bit about the new Gundam, but not... we know it's going to be UC.
We know it exists.
Like, it's for the 30th anniversary.
I still think they should have animated the Unicorn novels, but whatever.
I'd like to point out that one of the anniversaries did start off the G Gundam.
Yeah.
So it would have been kind of cool if they would have been, maybe more G Gundam. Everyone liked it, right?
We liked it.
This hand of mine is glowing with an awesome power.
Well, it is, but that's, yeah.
Well, I guess speaking of anime, we are going to MTAC, the Middle Tennessee Anime Convention, in April, first weekend of April. It's going to be cool. I know we're going to be in the podcasting panel, where I hear there's going to be special surprises.
Hopefully my boss will approve the vacation time.
They better, because the hotel is already booked.
Yes, I will tell him that.
And your thing's already paid for. So,
yes.
We're going to be there. Whether Kevin's boss likes it or not. This will be great.
Yes. Hopefully he doesn't listen to this.
Well.
That's okay. If he listens to this, he probably doesn't know it's me, because he doesn't remember my own name half the time at work. He calls me Irving or something.
Yeah, best, right? I always hated Irving. Oh, I've got a little cowboy hat. Anyways, speaking of video games, we'll move on into the world of awesome.
Okay, we got some, news here. Why Capcom doesn't care if the Street Fighter movie sucks. You've probably heard about the latest Street Fighter movie. The
Legend of Chun-Li, or this time it's Americanized without any actual Asians playing Chun-Li, or the
Avatar movie?
Sort of. It's the latest video game steam pile of crap that's not done by Uwe Boll.
What? I thought Uwe Boll did all the bad video game movies.
Oh no, there are plenty of bad video game movies to go around.
Including this one, but Capcom don't care.
I haven't seen it personally, but the reviews and everybody I've talked to says it sucks. And Capcom doesn't care because, well, to quote them, critics were unkind to the first Street Fighter movie as well, but that film has been ridiculously profitable for Capcom over the last decade. The original Street Fighter movie still generates millions of dollars in royalties for Capcom every year, thanks to cable, foreign distribution, home video, DVD, and Blu-ray sales.
But the original one was so bad it was awesome.
I hear this one's just bad.
This excerpt points out, but imagine how ridiculously profitable the last movie and the current one would have been if they were any good.
Yes.
Well, it's true. I would be much more likely to actually go see it, and they've also said it released 8 at the box office. I think did really, really badly. Didn't even do as well as the last Street Fighter movie did. So, maybe...
Probably because, like me, most people barely noticed it was existing, and when they found out these outstanding negatives, just because of how it all... No reason to watch it.
But I guess whatever cash Capcom gets, it's spare cash.
Well, dear Capcom, screw you. Some of us like, our properties to be treated fairly and nicely, and as if I have properties.
Could they make a good movie from... I don't know.
Well, I mean...
They could try.
They could try.
I mean, the Studio 4C, anime movie Ties That Bind, that was sort of the prequel to Street Fighter 4. That was, included on the collector's editions. It wasn't half bad. It was actually, it was at least as decent as the last Street Fighter animated movie. Although I think it was actually a little bit better because it didn't quite focus on trying to fit in every single character in the game.
Always the mistake of adapting fighting games.
Like, they include a lot of characters, but not all the characters, and it wasn't that bad.
And then again, if you're making a movie or video anime based on a fighting game, you kind of can't help but try to include everyone.
It's the hard part to balance.
Kind of the trap.
But the Studio 4C thing, it balanced it decently well, and I don't see why they couldn't, adapt something similar for, live action. How hard could it really be?
I don't know, but speaking of Street Fighter, Olympic hopeful uses Street Fighter 4 for training, which I find is a hilarious, awesome title. British Olympic hopeful and recent bronze medalist in the European Taekwondo Championships, Tyrone Robinson, the article reads, has adopted an unorthodox training regimen that includes long sessions with Capcom's Street Fighter 4.
Does anyone in Street Fighter 4 even use Taekwondo?
No.
I mean, I'm not that familiar with it yet.
I'm pretty sure that they do. I mean, I don't know, maybe he's working on, like, his, fireballs.
Yeah.
Well,
shouldn't he be playing, like, Fatal Fury? That has a Taekwondo guy.
Well, it says it helps him sharpen his coordination, speed up his reflexes, and mentally rehearse his in-ring fight planning.
But
So if he can tell that they're going to fireball, he can jump over it.
Yeah.
Or maybe, if it, like, say, like Dalsim, the arm suddenly stretches out, wide and crazy, and, I don't know, maybe he could also practice those things by, playing, practicing Taekwondo.
Yeah.
Well, they said this isn't to replace physical training. This is just something they want him to do when he's not physically training.
This is something he's doing for fun and claiming it's training.
Pretty much. Speaking of Street Fighter 4, I got to play Daryl Surratt the other day, and he's way better than he lets on. He's, like, way better. I think he might be better than James. I don't know. Like, he's good. And I just want to point that out there.
I don't think Olympic hopefuls are allowed to have fun, so he has to, pretend he's training.
Oh, that's right. He's also like the European bronze medalist. He's not even Asian, so I don't see how well he's going to actually do.
Yeah. Okay, I'm just cracking at the title of your next piece of news, but...
Oh, yeah. So we actually had two of these. First off, Toys R Us joins the used games business. Apparently, people have noticed that already right now you can walk into Toys R Us and they'll take your games for credit to buy more stuff in Toys R Us.
But apparently they're only doing it in select areas right now, and soon it will be all over.
Right.
Soon. Not that I generally go to Toys R Us, but hey.
Guess who else is also doing that?
Best Buy apparently is re-examining its used game sales. They used to do it, then decided, they tried testing it out, and then they're like, nah, and now they're like, well, maybe, yeah.
Make up your mind.
We're losing other customers to GameStop. Well,
GameStop is one of the few companies that actually goes, hey guys, we actually made more money this year during our horrible recession and faltering economy than we did the year previous. Go us and use games.
Well, GameStop is my general choice of actual physical gaming store, but it's just a little far away for me to get to regularly. But
it's my choice because I go there to hang out with Basil.
Oh yeah, it's my choice. Anyways, but how many dedicated game stores are there in the world? And GameStop's kind of it, unless you buy online, which a lot of people do, but you can't exactly trade your games in used online unless
there's Play and Trade, which I'm given to understand is some kind of a franchise, and they may or may not exist where the listeners are, but if they're anything like the one around here, they suck.
Like, I mean, I guess you could eBay your stuff, then use your money you got from eBay on Amazon or something.
A lot of people aren't that patient.
Yeah, true. People want instant gratification.
They do.
Which is nice to go into a video game store that may have used games you haven't played before. So, yeah.
But, but sometimes you want something old. Maybe like Ogre Battle. And in which case...
I do want me some Ogre Battle.
If you have a Wii, you're in luck, because it was what's on Virtual Console this week.
Oh, snap. I need to get some Wii points.
Man. Oh, you have a Wii?
Yes.
Man, I'm jealous.
I have all the stupid systems right now. I play the Xbox more than anything. It's sad.
Me too.
Me three.
And I only play old games on
my
Wii. That's all I play on Wii is Virtual Console games.
my Wii's so full of stuff. But I should mention that we're recording this on a Tuesday, and this will be up the following Monday, but Ogre Battle will still be there. But won't be there, but might be at some point, is the sequel to Final Fantasy IV.
Holy shit.
Known as Final Fantasy IV The After Years. This was originally actually a cell phone game in Japan that takes place years after Final Fantasy IV, starring Cecil and Rose's kid.
Yeah.
Like, his name was like Theodore, maybe, or Theodore, or...
Wait.
Ted, Theodore, Logan.
Man, they just had to give him a dumb name.
Well, Cecil.
Well, it's... I remember it's very similar to Golbez's real name.
Oh.
That they gave to him in the whole DS version, because they had that added plot.
They should have just named him Golbez so that he could be awesome.
Golbez Jr., stop destroying the Earth right now.
It could be Golbez's quest where you go around doing evil.
Now, the Japanese version was called The After, but this one's going to be called The After Years.
Man, that makes it seem like a bad sitcom.
Makes it seem like you should have an elderly Cecil fighting monsters going, damn you kids in my day.
I believe they've mentioned that, well, at least we'll see like an older Sid. Like the screenshots I've seen have Sid with white hair instead of brown hair.
You kids these days aren't need an overdrive or no limit breaks to kill monsters. I just hit them with my sword.
It's true. Now, this is currently the reason why we know it might be coming because the ESRB has rated it, got an E rating, and it was specifically said for the Wii. But there's also a pretty good chance that the 360 and PS3 might also see versions of it.
And an E, I was hoping for them to, show how we got the kid.
Well, this is also...
That'd be rated M.
This is also 16-bit graphics, so...
oh, shit.
Perhaps you...
Or maybe T.
So perhaps you wouldn't actually really want to see...
Hey, I'll
16 by 16, sprites there.
Xenosaga was T, right? Or Xenogears was a T, right?
Yeah.
So apparently sprite on sprite sex is only a T rating.
Yeah, well, I'll take sprite on sprite sex when I can get it, man.
But, speaking on sprites, not sprites on sprites, you sicko, we are in fact getting the new King of Fighters in July. They're actually doing a worldwide release.
King of Fighters!
It's being put out by, I believe, Marvelous. No, sorry, I'm wrong. It's Ignition Entertainment. It's coming to both Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3.
And it's been a while since I played any King of Fighters.
So, screw y'all. I know a lot of people are like, oh man, this was going to be PS3. And I'm like, what about 360? No, it's a... King of Fighters is sort of a PlayStation franchise. And I just want to go, no, it's a Neo Geo franchise. And since the Neo Geo is dead, SNK ports everything under the sun as many...
Multi-console.
Yeah, as many consoles
they can sell it to.
And normally it's actually usually like Wii and PS2 or Wii and PSP. In this case, because I guess they redid all the graphics to be in HD and everything, like what they did was actually made 3D models and then drew over the 3D models to make sure they had the proportions right and everything's all like silky smooth and whatnot.
I still want more adventures with Terry Bogard.
Yes. Although... We're going to see what happens, because the last time I saw a roster for this game, it didn't have Mai, and there's a problem.
How can you have Mai? She's the fan service girl of that.
As long as it has King, I'll be happy.
I don't think it had King either.
Oh, fuck them. They can go to hell.
I'm not sure, but it was a pretty small roster. Maybe they give some downloadable content, but we'll see. I don't remember what the roster actually was.
Athena?
I think Athena was in there.
Oh, good.
Small favors.
Well, I think Athena was there.
Man, King better be in there. I'll be writing to SNK.
Well, we'll find
Like
out.
that'll accomplish anything.
It would. Like, maybe we'll start an internet petition, because those always work.
Yes, those always work.
We can go to internetpetitionsuck.com and start one up today.
Yeah, because I know I'm enjoying that last season of Sailor Moon they put out for me.
But really, and, the sequel to Firefly.
Yeah.
Dollhouse,
Yeah.
Oh man, the things I've heard about Dollhouse.
I stand by Chuck is a better sequel to Firefly than Dollhouse. 'Cause at least you have Adam Baldwin.
Dollhouse isn't that bad. It's just a very hard concept to actually make work as a television
Kind
show.
of squicks me, although at least according to Eliza Dushku, it gets awesome at episode 6. So I may wait till then.
Does it? Would it be better as like a R-rated movie?
Well, the whole premise is that you have these people that have given up their memories so that you can insert any sort of combination of memories and personalities into them that you want to make them do whatever you need them to do to get their job done. And,
Why would you give up your memories
well, that
if your life really sucks?
I take the impression they were kind of forced into it, probably.
it's probably one of those things where they did something wrong, and either they saw sort of a nasty jail time, or they do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. We know the main character was trying to, change something in her life, and this was the option given to her that she reluctantly took, but you don't actually get to see what happens.
You just get to
at the
see
first-
her new personality or something.
Well, the personality changes every episode. And the
Oh.
trick is that it makes for a lot of interesting, short stories type things, because you get a different, personality every week. You get a different objective every week.
Mm-hmm.
The trick is that because of that, she has no set personality of her own, and you really just don't get attached to anybody.
Right.
I think you're supposed to, say, get more attached to, say, her handler, the guy who watches over her, or some of the other characters.
But doesn't that change too?
No, those are people who are set.
Oh.
People who she works around with
Oh.
are the same. It's only her and other people like her that are the actors, they put it, are, constantly changing their personalities. But she's the main character, and since she never has a set personality for any given episode,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of hard to relate. And so it's a really neat idea, but it doesn't quite work as a ongoing television show. It's kind of a hard concept to do.
Well, didn't he put this on Fox again? Even though he said he'd never do that again. Isn't this on-
And it's in the time slot of death.
Yeah, isn't it? Doesn't that mean as soon as it gets good that Fox is going to can it?
Probably.
So maybe he's planning on this to be crappy, so it'll stay on forever, kind of like the X-Files.
It's his only hope. He has to make it, good, but not too good.
That's right. It's a delicate balance, unless you're House. House can be as good as it wants, and Fox will keep putting
That's
it
an
on
unexpected segue into Dollhouse for probably
Yeah.
longer than we meant to. But hey.
But speaking of things that we kind of like, we thought we'd introduce a new element to the show, a new thing that we were going to call Moments of Awesome.
And I will be providing the music for this. Oh, okay, we're done.
Awesome!
James, if you could compose a little ditty for us, I don't know, it'd be appreciative.
Moment of awesome.
If not, use mine.
Yeah.
Or you just did the Tetris theme just for a little bit. That doesn't count.
Okay, I'll make up a completely new one.
That's not even music.
Yes, it is. It's just not a theme you've heard before.
It's the moment of awesome. It's totally effing awesome.
Anyways, moments of awesome. Things that we're actually, doing that we like, that maybe we're reading a manga, maybe we're playing a video game, maybe we're watching something new, I don't know. But not quite enough to do a review on it, but to let y'all know, hey, this stuff exists, and you should check it out. You start, Kevin.
Sure.
Isn't it going to be the Star Ocean game?
Well, by default now, yes. My moment is Star Ocean 4. Or Star Ocean The Last Hope. Or Star Ocean Enterprise. I'm not sure what they're calling it.
Star Ocean, that's on 360.
Yes. It's fun. It's takes place before all the other Star Ocean games as a prequel. Earth is only just crawling its way into space because it's a irradiated shithole. You and just one of the random jerks going out to try to find strange new worlds and new civilizations and to find hot alien chicks, just like every sci-fi show.
With swords.
With swords. Yeah, it somehow always comes down to swords. I don't know.
At least in the first Star Ocean, you start off as some bum hicks on a planet that uses swords.
Yeah.
And you just get abducted by the Captain Kirk wannabe because he's like, oh, you've seen too much technology. Time to come with us.
Yeah, and the second one, you kind of have a phaser for the first couple hours of the game, and then it breaks, and then you're stuck with a sword.
And they think, oh, you're the hero of light because you were using this, like, beam sword of light. Wait.
In the third game, they make up the Prime Directive, and it's like, you're on a planet that's too low-tech for blasters. Oh, fine, replicate me a goddamn sword, and they do. Last Hope, he just likes swords.
They decided not to even try to bother.
Well, they do sort of rationalize it, because the first planet you land on, the inhabitants, which are creepy bugs, cannot be harmed by railguns, which seem to be the standard Earth weapon. They literally anticipated the electromagnetism and bounce the shell off them with their own force field.
But they can't do that with swords?
Nope. Nor arrows, because the main character's girlfriend likes archery. Well, okay, she's not really his girlfriend, but it's kind of the first girl you meet in the game law.
Yeah. Whoa.
But, yeah, it's fun. Strange new worlds, time paradoxes, way too many women who use magic in your party, but yeah.
When RPGs on 360, you can be picky, really. There's a god-awful lot of them
now, aren't
than you think about it. But yeah, it's...
To be fair, the worst thing I have to say about it is the voice acting is kind of weak. That's actually, I think, the biggest problem of the game, and it's not that big of a problem. All in all, I'm not done with it, so maybe the end blows. I don't know, but I'm enjoying it so far.
What I've been checking out is, picked up today, actually, a brand new manga came out called Pluto. And it's actually sort of a co-work. It's done by Urasawa, the same guy who did 20th Century Boys Monster. And it's actually a retelling of a story of Astro Boy by, Tezuka, which is, the father of anime as we know it.
God of manga.
Really? I mean, he's a god in the Shinto sense.
It's felt like this, and what's neat is it actually takes the story the greatest robot on Earth, which is about a robot named Pluto, which you don't get to find out in the first volume of Pluto, but one of the main people are named as Pluto, in case you didn't know.
Spoilers, not really.
And you're actually, what they did was they took an Astro Boy story, and he reworked it to become like a modern, murder mystery, where the first thing happens is a robot gets violently murdered. That's right, a robot gets violently murdered. Mm-hmm. But it's like this robot that's beloved by all, and you discover as you're following an Interpol robot who is one of the greatest detectives ever. Like, he's like the ultimate detective robot.
They programmed him for that and everything.
That's right. And he's off to try and track down this mysterious murderer. And it's really, really good. It takes, all the stuff the guy knows how to do, suspense and everything, and it turns it out into a story that was originally Astro Boy. And it's really well done. The artwork's so, different because it's still, you can see, all the reimaginings of all the Tezuka robots and everything. Mm-hmm. But he does this in a much more realistic, much more grittier, much more modern style that's very, very different from how Tezuka would do things back when he was first, inventing the genre.
Does it have the character Astro Boy in it?
It does. It's actually the last page. you actually get to meet Adam, and that's really when you really when it really all comes together and you realize, oh man, this is something. And if you've ever read any of his previous works, Monster is a masterwork. It's probably one of the best, I guess it's horror.
It's sort of a suspense horror side. I haven't really read it yet, but from what I hear.
I've read the first couple of novels, and it's really, really good. And so far, Pluto looks like it's going to be really good, too. And that's what I've been doing.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm thankful for, awesome moment of Dragon Quest V. Hand of the Heavenly Bride. It's, we've never gotten it over here in the States until now. It was originally for Super Nintendo. They redid it for PS2, I think, maybe 1. But it doesn't matter. It's now on the DS, and it's pretty awesome. I can't quite say it's quite as awesome as the Dragon Warrior 4, but it's still pretty effing awesome. It's got, the standard Dragon Quest stuff, except instead of playing it through chapters like the last one, you play it through ages. You start out as a little kid, you do all sorts of crap, and then you become an adult and do all sorts of crap. And
then stuff further sort of happens.
Yes.
But, because, it's like Hand of the Heavenly Bride, you actually do get to pick a bride.
And marry her.
Marry her, and what things that happen, what happens when you marry someone and have a honeymoon, well, other things occur, and it's, I don't know, I actually I'm playing it too, me and Lee got it the same day.
Yep.
I need it.
And I think I might overall like it better than 4.
Really? Well, I think it's got some elements that are better than 4. I think 4 might. Well, I'll wait and I'll see until I beat it. But there are some things about 4 that I like better. Like I liked your party overall in 4 better because you actually sort of had one. In this, you have more monsters. But a lot of the story elements are kind of more roller coastery in this one, and it kind of goes, "Oh shit, I did not expect that." Oh shit, I did. Oh, don't what? Like that.
Well, I do think 4 did a much better job of how it had everything chaptered, where you got to meet all your party members and they each got to have their own story.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in this one, it's very much focused on you.
Mm-hmm.
And there's other characters around you and they get their own stories, but it still all happens around you, and it's about how you are growing and how your character is evolving with the world doing the same thing around you. And they both definitely tell different stories.
Mm-hmm.
And for a series that everyone claims is so old and tired and worn its own tracks, it's really neat to play these older games and see how, maybe it's old in its tracks and it's already done everything, because it's doing things that I don't see done in RPGs normally.
Yeah, the old in the tracks comes from the, reused-ish sort of first-person battle system and item stuff. But it actually, to see the animations and to play through them, it's actually a pretty fresh experience if the whole turn-based RPG thing doesn't, bum you out.
I also think it also helps, or perhaps even hinders it in a way that, 4 was on the NES, 5 was on the Super Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm sure that, in comparison, when the Japanese played it, 5 was probably a huge step up just graphically.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas because what we got of 4 remade on the DS and 5 made on the remade on the DS
are the same engine,
same same graphics, pretty much. And so it's just more. It feels, as far as that goes, more of the same rather than a big leap forward or anything.
Though they have, which I thought was impressive, gone a little bit further with architecture inside the buildings and stuff, making it more glamorous. And
it's definitely more refined, but it still looks very
the same. Yeah, there's even the same sprites.
Very, very similar. And same music they use because it's the same score, more or less, with different themes, but a lot of
most of the Dragon Quests have a lot of the same music.
And so I think they just use the same music because, it's the same engine. But it's really good, too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't played it, but I bet they're right. It's great.
You damn right it's good.
Mm-hmm.
You should all go buy it.
I intend to someday in the future.
And Retro Game Challenge, although we'll talk about that probably next week.
Yes, Retro Game Challenge is awesome.
But this week, we're actually going to be, we're going to go back into the early days of anime.
Not that early.
That's a lie. It's not really that early. It's like early 2000s, really.
That's early for all these new kids who just started watching Naruto.
Oh, this kicks the ass of Naruto. Well, I guess.
It does.
Well, the one we're talking about still does, but it's weird. That was actually... But we'll get into it. It's the first season of Full Metal Panic.
Dun, 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 dun.
But first, a word from our sponsors. Well, a promo for a different podcast.
You have found me, a mighty podcast. You have brought before me a show worthy of I, Wolf, Greater Fiend, and ruler of storms. I have prepared a venue befitting an audio duel to the death. Come, we will listen to Robotronic dynamite on the sacred battleground of the Colosseum. Do not be deceived by this show's delicate appearance. It is a proven warrior. Now come with me to RobotronicDynamite.com, where you shall be given an honorable death.
Stop despairing and
Stop
start
despairing.
podcasting.
We're now talking about Full Metal Panic.
Despair is a sweet trap. Sorry. Okay.
All right, now on to the topic for tonight's conversation. Full Metal Panic is totally an anime. Before it was an anime,
It was a light novel,
yes.
or a series of light novels,
Series of light novels.
and short stories.
Light novels, in case you don't know, are kind of like teen reading, sort of. They tend to be shorter stories,
With a few illustrations inside.
Maybe if they had a scholastic book fair, these are the books you'd see there.
Except much cooler.
Except just about everyone reads them in Japan. That are comic books.
Yeah.
Because they're quick reading. And so it's easy to have with you on a train or something.
Mm-hmm.
And because they're quick reading, usually they're pretty action-packed, easy to sink your teeth into, they tend to get made into anime a whole lot. Haruhi Suzumiya, Slayers. A lot of anime gets developed via light novels.
Zero no Tsukaima,
Strawberry Panic.
yeah, etc.
A ton of them. Full Metal Panic is no exception.
No, there's an exception because it's awesome. Well, some of those other things are awesome too.
Hey, shut up.
But this one was done by some guy named Shoji Gatoh.
Thank you, Mr. Gatoh. Or
Gatoh.
Mr. Shoji, is it?
Yes.
And then to get our anime adaptations, it kind of went through the same process, somewhat similar to Hellsing, in that it was first animated by GONZO.
Ooh.
And then he realized the error of his ways, and then moved it over to Kyoto Animation,
Yay.
which did a much, much better job.
Except, unlike Hellsing, it's not necessarily a retelling. It's,
No, it follows the first couple of books pretty well.
Well, unlike Hellsing, Full Metal Panic was awesome enough that it actually warranted... it was still good after Gonzo was done with it.
yeah, which is rare.
Which is an exception with something that's not they just made up in-house.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's...
Gonzo, when they do the original stuff, they're okay, but if they adapt, you better hope for the best.
Of course, then
You're
again,
not
they
gonna
are
get it.
kind of going downhill with, strike witches and... yeah.
You did just not mention strike witches on my podcast, sir.
What's Strike Witches?
Don't
I'm sorry.
don't continue with this thought, Lee.
I'm sorry.
Do not continue with this thought.
Is that the word the knights who say knee cannot hear?
Yes.
That's right, Lee.
Yes.
That's right completely.
Yes.
Yes. Full Metal Panic. It's good stuff. It's a very interesting way on how the guy handles it, because there's two sides of it. The novels are a bit more serious and, more of the actual plotline of the story, whereas he does also the short stories, which are wacky high school hijinks.
Well, we haven't really explained the main story. Wacky High School Hijinks may not seem like We lack context why that's different.
Well, the context can be explained in one person. Sagara Sosuke.
Yes.
Your, teenage Solid Snake.
Military maniac, awesome guy, but clueless socially.
Yeah.
Well, he's not like so much a military maniac as that's the only thing he's ever known since he was a baby.
He's been raised by the KGB as an assassin, then taken in by Afghani rebels.
Yeah, calling him a military maniac makes him sound like a military otaku or something, and that's totally not him.
That's his friend.
He's been
That's
like a
his friend.
child soldier turned mercenary.
And what happens is, technically takes place in the year of 1999. So, it takes place in the past, but an alternate past.
Dun, dun, dun. That was
Which
situational.
has things like what we don't see, like giant robots
Yeah.
and other things.
And the Whispered.
Small-scale fusion reactors, super submarines, all sorts of crazy stuff.
Well, a lot of this is because of the Whispered. Whispered are people who, for some reason, it's unknown, their minds are already filled in the back of their brains with what's known as black technology. And black technology is technology that technically should not exist, but does in this world.
Way beyond the level of science of now. But
It allows you to make giant robots.
And they're just born with it. They just know this information.
it's usually in a specialized field, like one might be an expert on submarine mechanics, one might be an expert on communications electronics.
And it's not like they automatically always are thinking of it. It's sort of in their subconscious.
Just kind of comes out sometimes.
And Sagara Sosuke works for this group called Mithril, which is a mercenary group that only seems to take jobs for justice. Justice.
Didn't you say it right the first time?
Yes, you did, totally.
Oh, well.
Yeah,
Go
and
me.
they fight terrorists and stop weapons of mass destruction and drug dealers and evil terrorist organizations out for world domination.
That are probably also dealing drugs.
Yeah, kind of like G.I. Joe, except not really a part of America.
And Sosuke's on with them now after being, a child soldier and all that crap.
Yeah, he's kind of messed up. He has he's excellent in his normal field of being a badass mercenary who also pilots a giant robot. But when it comes to anything resembling normal life, he's
Way out of
clueless.
Which sucks for him. One of the reasons that Mithril is so good at what they do is because they not only know about the existing Whispered, they also tend to enlist them in their ranks as, people to help them. And they also notice that there is a particular Whispered that's about to be targeted. And this is a girl named Chidori. She's an average, 16-year-old high school student who has no clue what she's about to get into. So they decide maybe we should send a bodyguard to protect her.
Who do we have who looks Asian and is high school aged and speaks Japanese?
Hey, Sosuke! Get over here!
He drew the short straw.
The short straw of life.
Yes. Short straw of awesome.
So they go, there you go, we're going to make you we forged papers, we're going to make you a high school student, your job is protect this girl. Go do so. There's only a slight problem with that. One teeny, tiny wrinkle in the whole him doing this job.
That he tends to respond with lethal force to anything?
It's that he has no clue how to be,
A normal high school student.
a normal person at all. His entire life has been nothing but military. Guns, boom, boom, boom.
Survive.
He has a tendency to misinterpret everything as a threat. Everything.
Everything.
For example, gets a note in his locker and
Worried that someone's tampered with his locker and put a bomb in there, he does what you do when you expect an explosive device and blows up all the lockers.
Just to be sure.
Just to be sure.
Okay, so it was a love note, but he didn't realize it.
Yes.
And that's how he reacts to everything. For example, when he meets, he doesn't actually talk to, Chidori and says, "Hey, I'm here to protect you." No. He just sort of stalks her, and is always right behind her.
And not stalking as in I have, his mind doesn't even comprehend what you'd normally associate with stalking. So it's not like
he's staking out the target.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, of course, his apartment is almost directly, across from hers. He always would stay, exactly 5 feet away from her.
He has her room bugged.
Well, that's more the rest of Mithril helped him out. His cohorts helped him out with that one, I believe.
Well, yes, but, and he does have backup in the form of good old Kurtz
Weber. And Melissa Mao. Oh, she's awesome.
Well, yeah.
We should do one at a time. Yeah.
Kurtz he really, really, really wishes he was a playboy and fails miserably at it.
Mostly he's just fails with Mao, I think.
Well, he doesn't get much of a chance to, as far as I can tell, most of the females on the ship are either Melissa Mao or Tessa.
Yeah.
So
Chidori doesn't exactly like him.
Well, I think she actually kind of likes him, but she's having none of his playboy ways.
Yeah, well, that's what I meant. He doesn't like him like that. She doesn't like him like that.
Yes. I mean, I think she thinks he's an okay guy.
But he's an excellent sniper.
Excellent sniper.
And then you got Melissa Mao, the actual person who's in charge of the Selsuke's unit.
Their team leader, who's an ex-U.S. Marine, and is pretty handy with a chainsword.
She's pretty damn awesome. I love her.
Yes.
One of my favorite characters.
She's definitely the most hard-boiled, smoking cigarettes, drinking beer, crushing them on the top of her forehead type, hooah, sort of.
Yeah. For being a very hot girl, she definitely feels like a Marine.
And these are the people that were sent to back him up.
Yes.
And we did also mention Tessa, who is the captain of the submarine that he's assigned to. And she's also 16.
And got the hots for him.
Eventually,
she develops it.
Yeah.
Of course, she's also whispered herself, so that's why she knows all about submarines and stuff.
She's super smart, but she's also horribly clumsy. Which is mostly just played for laughs.
Which is why she's got her two, awesome guys behind her. Dude in a hat.
Who's a Monty Python fan.
Is he?
Yes, he is. The little Fumofu with the banana joke? That's a Monty Python reference. Banana in the shower thing.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a little obtuse. It doesn't really have much to do with the particular show we're talking about.
Yeah, I totally forget his name, but he's you'll know him as the dude with the hat.
The dude with the hat.
Does he have the hots for Tessa?
He's more like her surrogate father, I think. He's the first officer of the sub. He treats her like she's his daughter, down to even threatening Sosuke that anything happens to her, he's going to kill him in the name of God and the Queen.
Yes.
So that's more from Mofu when he does that. And then there's the other awesome, the other awesome old dude.
Kalinin. I remember him. He's almost like Sosuke's dad.
Yeah.
Sort of.
I love him, by the way.
He's the overall commander of their, mecha forces and is ex-KGB.
He's actually the guy who raised Sosuke originally after they rescued him from initially being just a child soldier.
Mm-hmm.
And he's definitely your super wise and, deep-voiced, I know how to lead men, and I can give you wise sayings. And that doesn't actually help you until just the right time.
I love him, by the way.
Isn't it strange, in the time we live with these giant robots? He actually has a speech about how weird it is to have giant robots. And, he's totally right, even though I love giant robots.
Did we mention this is a mecha show? This is a mecha show.
It is a mecha show. I might have mentioned he pilots robots somewhere back there, but it's totally a mecha show.
And as we mentioned earlier, it also has high school hijinks.
Yes.
As Sosuke, as his bumbling adventures with the rest of the world, and making Chidori pissed.
When it's a high school love comedy, it's a funny high school love comedy. And when it's a military drama, it's a military drama. And, the science is grounded mostly in real-world science. The giant robots are fairly realistically portrayed. They're designed like real machines. Most of their stuff is just kind of upsized real-world weapons. And it's kind of Tom Clancy doing a high school love comedy.
It sort of is. It's actually kind of strange we never actually got it on American TV. It's one of those shows I actually could really see
Doing well.
Yeah, it's heavily influenced by American action movies, you know, the Die Hard trilogy, Full Metal Jacket, the A-Team. It even has a musical motif that sounds nearly exactly like the A-Team theme.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun.
Yes.
Yeah, it sounds like it's just almost the A-Team theme, but it's not.
And it is intentional. Japan loved the A-Team, by the way.
Well, who couldn't love the A-Team? I mean, the wacky hijinks of Mr. T and Hannibal and Face. And, yeah, it's great stuff. Murdoch. Oh yeah.
People throw hella far.
That's
at some
right.
point, they tear something up and rebuild it into an armored vehicle of destruction. It was awesome. And that's what Full Metal Panic's kind of like.
Only instead of Mr. T, you get a Japanese teenager, like most anime.
Yeah, but he is almost Mr. T, really. And
Is that really?
He almost is kind of Mr. T. I don't know.
I don't know if I'd go that far.
Well, it's not really just like Mr. T. I mean, his voice is when he says stuff, it's short to the point.
Yeah,
He's all serious and all about the business, getting stuff done.
he pities the fool.
No,
Well,
he doesn't.
never know. He doesn't.
Occasionally, he does pity a fool. I mean, at least once or twice, he pities a fool.
Don't be confusing the people and think this is a Mr. T show starring
No,
Mr.
it's
T.
not. That would be awesome, but no.
No, it's really its own thing entirely.
Mm-hmm.
It definitely takes heavy influence from American action movies and military thrillers and I don't know, Ferris Bueller's Day Off. But
Really?
maybe just a little.
Well, with the high school hijinks, because the whole thing with Sosuke has to protect Chidori from everything.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't matter if it's some jerkwad named Gowron who decided to kidnap her to steal secrets out of her brain.
Who legitimately is an evil terrorist.
Or if it's a guy who's trying to ask her out because he
Who
thinks he's hot.
is not an evil terrorist, but just as likely to get shot. Although at least in school he uses rubber bullets.
And more likely just to get shoved to the ground and put a gun in his face and ask him what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
It's true. And it's really amazing how much this actually corresponds in ADV's release. Later on, Kid Animation sort of splits theirs off into two separate series. For Mofu, which is all the wacky high school hijinks.
It is hilarious.
And then they also have the second raid, which actually is based off two of the novels as an actual military drama story thing.
Primarily focuses on the serious stuff as opposed to the silly.
And it really is, when you actually watch it, you realize that these are the exact same characters, and you could totally see them be doing both these things.
Yes, in high school, Sosuke is fish out of water, and it's played for laughs because he is totally lost. But in his own military environment, he is the guy you want right there with you.
It's great that author could write both so well, and I admire him for that.
Now, grant you, Gonzo did do as decent job as Gonzo can do. They actually, instead of having two separate series, they do sort of bounce between the wacky and the serious, depending on the story arc involved, as you're watching the full show.
Yeah, they've got some silly episodes. Well, sometimes the silly and serious are mixed together in an episode, but usually they'll give you a funny episode after a couple of serious episodes just to give you a little tension relief.
But the bad part about the Gonzo animation is the animation quality itself, which is excellent in the beginning and end, but kind of peters down to crap. Well, kind of crap in the middle.
It does, yeah, and it kind of gets into the comic relief episodes, and it's like, this is not that well animated.
Honestly, just in general, it's not as good as it could have been. Like, if you actually watch... I know when I watched the first season, what Gonzo did, originally I watched it on my computer, and I had to throw into a special media player, throw a bunch of filters, try to sharpen the image, level things out, change the brightness, change the contrast, trying all these things just to give me a decent picture that didn't look like ass on my screen.
Yeah.
And then once I was done with that, I'm like, oh man, I want to watch some more. I know, I'll pop in Fumofu. And suddenly it looked horrible on my screen because Kyoto's animation's really good, and all these filters and changes and levels I did were made it look like way too much crap. That's not a really good term, way too much crap. But I'm going with it because it was way too much crap.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was perfectly fine without the filters.
And, it really showed me the difference between the two. I mean, Gonzo tends to go through much thicker lines, not for the reasons that you would need, like thicker lines, right? Mm-hmm. It doesn't give you a sense of, boldness or strength to it.
Not like you're doing Gatoh Robo and you need big, thick 70s animation lines just to make the characters look right.
It was more just that's how they just did things.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was, Kyoto Animation tends to use more variable line width in the actual animation to, determine things like, scale and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Gonzo's was much more, I don't want to say generic, but it was definitely, it felt like, Kyoto was really, they wanted to do a good job, whereas Gonzo was just churning another thing out to make money.
Yeah, it's probably it's probably the best adaptation of something Gonzo has ever done. But it's still Gonzo animation, and it doesn't quite live up to its potential, but it's where you need to start.
Mm-hmm. It's true, because it lays out the whole framework. Who are the Whispered? Why they're doing their thing?
Who are our heroes?
Who is this Gowron asshole who's constantly killing people and messing things up and kidnapping people?
Just why does this giant robot have a device that uses my imagination to give me a magic shotgun?
Oh, yeah, the Lambda driver.
Yeah.
Which is sort of the
kind of the ultimate random super technology that shouldn't exist.
Yes.
Where it uses the power of your imagination to make things work that shouldn't.
Yeah, I think the novels actually give kind of a long-winded explanation of how it uses the brain waves to manipulate electromagnetic energy and plasma and other crazy stuff that are probably related to random Tesla ramblings to accomplish impossible things. Like being able to stand on something that can't support your mecha's weight. Or
it's true, like whether it's you're making this giant red colossal thing move, or sniping with a shotgun.
Which also should not happen. Although Sosuke also uses the standing on impossible things trick. He just doesn't consciously know he's doing it. That's the problem, though, is Sosuke has no imagination.
Yeah, his imagination isn't exactly the best.
He thinks like an engineer.
Yes.
But as an engineer soldier.
And his brain actually kind of rebels at the idea that this device he has even exists or could possibly work. And he only ever manages to use it in extreme circumstances.
Several times it's actually Chidori going, hey, you really should use this thing.
Or I'm like totally gonna die.
So you better do it. Or I'm gonna so hurt you.
Yeah.
And then he goes, oh, well, maybe I need to really, really try hard to think of something imaginative. I know, I'll shoot a bullet.
Yeah.
It'll be the best bullet
Unfortunately...
What's the best bullet ever?
Yeah, unfortunately, Mithra only has one of these because the person who knew how to make them died.
Other people seem to get their hands on it, though.
Yeah, unfortunately, the bad guys seem to have someone who knows to make them too, and they have a lot of them.
He was like, oh, here's another one. Here's another one. Let's put these guys in the one, too.
Also, they seem to work a lot more reliably. And all their pilots are crazy. That may also be why they work reliably.
And use lots of drugs.
Yeah.
Because I guess, when you have something that, it sort of breaks reality, it probably breaks you a little bit, too.
Well, I understand the explanation as being that it requires certain wavelengths of your brain waves to be active, and and some of the pilots have been injected with drugs to artificially induce that level of brainwave activity, which also makes them more than a little wacky.
Which usually means killing sprees.
Yeah, unfortunately that works into their plans usually.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good show. Like, does balance things very well between the serious and the goofy. And when Gonzo is actually caring about their animation, it can look decent. I mean, I know I'm down on it, but I still watched it. I still bought it. And sure, it was mostly to get through to the good stuff that Kyoto did. But I still actually enjoyed what I watched when I was watching it.
Mm-hmm.
And I have before, went and watched it again later on, to catch up on an episode here and there, just to refresh myself. But oh man, that was some good stuff.
Yeah, and it took me a long time to actually get the whole series, so I somehow ended up seeing the first little story arc like about a dozen times at random intervals. So,
how many awesomes out of awesomes can we really give the first season of Full Metal Alchemist? Panic!
I give Full
Panic,
Metal
not
Alchemist
Alchemist.
0 awesomes out of... No, I give it a half awesome out of awesome as long as we're in the Japanese. Oh, but Full Metal Panic...
I give it a dozen and a half arm slaves of awesome.
Oh yes, Arm Slaves. That's the name of the mecha.
Yes. I give it a Hugo Gernsbach of awesome.
Now, what would you give a Hugon Bach of
Oh, well, the main mecha that Mithril uses is the Gernsbach, named for Hugo Gernsbach, who the Hugo Science Fiction Award is also named after.
Oh. Well, then I'll give it a Tootha del Danen of awesome.
Who the fuck is that? Or what the fuck?
Wait, how do you actually pronounce that?
I hope it's Tuatha De Danann, but I'm
That's-
also possibly mangling it.
It's the name of the submarine ship that Tessa...
Oh, right.
It's a Celtic... It's the children of Dana, who is a Celtic goddess. But yeah, that's also elves, by the way. Anyways,
Elvis?
elves.
Elves.
That is, or she, if you want to get all fancy and Celtic. But yeah, that's neither here nor Full Metal Panic.
Meanwhile, I'll give it lots and lots of hidden black boxes worth of awesome. Because deep within the Horde husk that is Gonzo animation still is a gem of something that should not exist. A good show made by that was animated by Gonzo.
Yeah,
That's just how awesome Full Metal Panic is.
It really is. It really goes beyond, it goes beyond the Call of Duty to be awesome, even though it was animated by Gonzo.
manages to pull itself out of the normal mediocrity of Gonzo's adaptations.
And still manages to kick ass and take names. Even if it does have a random stint in the desert that wasn't supposed to be there.
Yeah, that comes somewhere else in the books, or not at all, I'm not sure. I haven't seen that far. They haven't released that much in the U.S. yet.
Now, because ADV put this out years ago, it's still actually pretty easy to get the box set of it, and for pretty cheap. I mean, I got it from Deep Discount DVD just maybe half a year ago. So it's not that hard to find still. And hey, you're sporting ADV, which is always a good thing, because Lord knows they need it.
Yeah.
Yeah, poor bastard.
You can also probably find the light novelizations, at least covering this part of the story, fairly easily as well.
It's true. I've seen them in Barnes and Nobles and whatnot.
I picked them up without really trying, so, yeah.
Although with Barnes & Noble occasionally not always carrying quite so much anymore, it might
No.
be hard, but I'm sure Amazon's got it.
Yeah, Amazon's great for books.
I bet it's not that hard to track down and find.
No, I definitely recommend the original light novels because they're translating them in English. Hopefully Tokyo Pop won't stop.
How are they?
I like them. I've enjoyed the translated versions.
So how many out are serious and how many out are the comedy?
They've only been releasing the serious as far as I know. I don't know if they've released the fourth one yet. They think they're up to 3.
Well, I kind of see that because, at least what Fumofu showed me was that a lot of the really good comedy is visual,
It really is.
and so I could see them. I'm wondering if the comedy books aren't quite as good as the serious stuff. It's a lot easier to do serious on how he does it.
It may be harder to translate, too, because the Japanese love puns, and that won't make sense in English.
I mean, it's one of the reasons why when they did stuff like Shin-Chan, they had to completely rewrite it to make it work on American TV, just because the Japanese jokes just don't make sense to a lot of American people.
No, you have to work to understand Japanese humor, and at that point, it may not be funny anymore.
But that said, the actual humor in Full Metal Panic is pretty universal. It works no matter how.
It's very visual, yeah.
So perhaps one day we might see the more comedic stuff, but you do get to see the comedic stuff in the anime and the series, so it's pretty much win-win.
The novel Sosuke is fun because you get to the internal monologue, and it sort of reminds me of Kyon from Haruhi, actually, in a strange sort of way.
But as an action hero,
yes,
interesting. I want to check this out. You should loan me these novels.
I should.
You should. But with that,
we are out. Action and hot girls, then check out something that I'm not going to recommend. You'll find it, or maybe my webcomic.
You can, and now when you take it to a convention, you can be like, this might's been rubbed on this guy's dick.
So maybe you should stop licking it.
Okay, I was going to delete this one, but I'm going to keep that there now for
forever.
For
proof.